What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're at in the world, wherever you're going to watch this, whether it's now, whether it's on the replay. Listen, what's going on? I am so excited. This is, if you would have caught the special announcement that I made, you kind of may know what's going on. But if not, we're going to fill you in, like really fill you in over the next 20 days. You saw it pop up, right? Let me show this thing to you again if you didn't see it. Let's see. Can you see it? Let's see. Let me see if I can show it to you again. What you are going to embark on. So I'm going to disappear for a second so you can see. Bam. 20 days of him. That's what we about. That's right. I see you backstage. Like, yes, 20 days of him. Listen, and what's 20 days of him? This thing right here called HIMStory. HIMStory, right? So I am just so super excited that listen, you guys know about her story. So now it's time for HIMStory. You're like, HIMStory? What the heck is him? Don't you mean history? Like, no, man, exactly what it says. HIMStory. Because HIM stands for something. And see, in order for us to really truly understand him, we have to understand the complexities of him. So over the next 20 days, we're going to take a step into their world, right? We're going to take a step into his world, how he became him. But it's only just a snippet, just a little bit, because see, what we're leading up to is just amazing. Launch February 11th. If you got our announcement, February 11th, HIMStory. Yes. And I want to introduce to you all of the amazing men, the bold men, the kings who are coming forth to share with us what made them him and how they became him. And so now if you're wondering, okay, let me show you again, because in case you're just wondering, him means being honorable, intelligent, matured. Ooh, it takes a lot to become him. See, first you had to be her, because we already know about her being healed, empowered, resilient. But you had to be her in order to become him. Like I'm him, and I'm also her. How you figure that? Yeah, easy. So I want to bring to you today our first person that we're going to feature over the next. See, yesterday was the ultimate king. Pun and no pun intended. You know, we just celebrated MLK Day. So we started off with the king to lead us into the rest of the kings over the next 20 days leading up to him. I'm just so, when I tell you I'm excited. So let's just bring the first king up to the stage. You ready? You ready back there? You got your crown right? All right. He's like, bring me in. Coach, tag me. I'm coming in. All right. So we got none other than Julian. What's going on?
What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. I pray that everybody's Tuesday was terrific, triumphant. I pray that it was a productive day, a good day. So happy Tuesday, everyone. I am here.
Yes, I am here. You are here. We are all here. I'm just so and I am him. You are him.
Right.
Well, you really are him. I'm just
I am him. As a matter of fact, did we even say what HIM stands for? Did we break down the acronym?
I did, but they may not have caught it. So go ahead and tell them again.
Well, for those of you who do not know what HIM stands for, it stands for honorable, intelligent, and mature. That's what HIM stands for.
That's what HIM stands for, because it takes those things to truly become him.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes, it's a journey. It's an ongoing journey. It's a everyday thing.
Ongoing journey, everyday thing. Like this is you know, we're just going to have this phenomenal, amazing journey leading up to this triumph time when we get this to celebrate you. No pun and pun intended at the same time. I just had my celebrating you conference, but to celebrate you in such a magnificent way to just really, truly just honor you, right? To honor you and all of the other kings that are in this anthology. I'm just so excited about this. You guys have no idea. Like her story, I'm still got goose pimples over her story.
Listen, when I saw the when I saw it, I was just like, oh my God, I can't wait until I see HIMStory up there. Like, I am literally going to make a trip to New York and take a picture in front of it.
So you want to talk about what we talking about? They may not know what we talking about. They may
like
not know what we talking about.
you share it. You share it.
Well, no, you go ahead. You do.
So, matter of fact, I don't even know what day you posted it. Was it a Saturday or a Friday? Like, I know it was over the weekend when I saw it.
Man, listen, it was.
Like,
I don't even know anymore because that thing is still going crazy.
Right, it's still going. And then I don't even know what you call those things. I don't know if you call it like a marquee or like, I know it's like the big things.
Yeah, it is a billboard just
yeah,
cut
the
off.
billboard, right? Exactly.
Ricardo,
When I saw the billboard for her
flight.
story, and it looked so beautiful at night, lit up. Like, it's just something about nightlife in New York City. So to see that at night, I was like, okay, I'm like, my sister / auntie is doing it. She's doing it, and we give all the glory, honor, and praise to God. And listen,
you went up there?
No, I didn't go up there. I seen the picture that you posted on your page. I am going to go up there though. I definitely am going to go up there. That's definitely one of my things to do. I'm definitely going to make my way on up there.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know what he's talking about,
this is just the beginning, and we are only about 2-3 weeks in January. We are a week away from my 32nd birthday. So to see all of this and to see it happen, I'm like, listen, nothing but God. Nothing but God.
Nothing but God. Let me tell you. Let me see if I can pull up so that way the people are like, what
the people got to see this. They have
to see this thing.
Like,
this thing is like, what?
Like, and I encourage all of my kings, all of my Her Story sisters on there. If y'all can, we have to get up to New York and look at this billboard. I don't care if we take a picture in front of it. Y'all take individual pictures. That is something we have to do. So I'm putting the word out for my brothers in HIMStory and my sisters in Her Story, especially Her Story, because y'all started it all. Get to New York and find that billboard ASAP.
Right. So look, Ricardo's like in Nashville. He said, heard about the HIMStory launch. Yes.
Right.
Ricardo.
Yes.
He said, I just got off the flight.
My pastor has been promoting it like crazy. He promoted it on his page. He tagged me in it. Sunday, he laid hands and spoke over me. It's already a bestseller. So we speaking into the atmosphere. That's the word that I'm going with. It's already a bestseller. Okay.
Already a bestseller. See, you know what? Let's yes.
So shout out to my pastor, Pastor David Wright and Lady Janitha Wright. If y'all are ever in the tri-state area, especially the New Jersey, Berlin area, please do not hesitate to pay us a visit over at Life Impact Worship Center. The address is 20 East Taunton Road in Berlin, New Jersey. We normally have service at 4:30, 5 o'clock. We don't have all day long church. We get you in and out. So, now if you want to stay for the after service, that's what I call it. That's where we just fellowship, cut up, laugh, joke, catch up, because we are a family. But you can also come, get a good word, get your praise on, get your worship on. My Lady G has a sweet shop over in Akko, New Jersey. So shout out to G Light Sweet Shop. Normally after service, she'll have cakes and pies or whatever your heart's desire is. So please, please, please come on and pay us a visit. Come in fellowship. I promise you'll be glad that you came.
Awesome. Wow. I can't wait to get some of those sweets. So
listen, she got everything. She makes a pistachio cake. She makes a cannoli cake. She made one that was a Biscoff cake. She has all types of stuff. She made one time she made this sweet potato cheesecake cake that I didn't get a chance to have. I was kind of sort of upset about that, but we're gonna see if she can recreate that magic. Like anything that you can think of. The biggest seller is her honey bun cake. The honey bun cake is always a big seller. The banana pudding cake. Everybody goes crazy over her banana pudding cake.
Just put her information in the chat so we can
listen. You know I am.
Yeah, put her information in there, right? So we can give her a shout out. Give her a shout out.
G Light Sweet Shop. I believe the address is 386 White Horse Pike in Akko, New Jersey. So I believe the hours she's open from Wednesday through Saturday. I believe the hours is from 11 to 6 p.m. I think.
Okay.
So
Well,
I'll definitely like send you guys the information and tag
yes, we
and all
definitely
that.
need that
I'll stop
information.
on by
Yes.
there and get it. Listen,
And
get
she
it while
may
it's
have to
good.
figure out, because we got people that watching all over the world, so she may have to ship some stuff to somebody. So if
I
she can't
mean,
get the service,
listen, we
I'm pretty
all
sure
for
she can
it.
send it
We
to
all
you.
for it. We all
I'm pretty
for
sure
it.
she can send it to you. So, but listen, so what Julian is talking about. So let's do. You want me to give them a sneak peek of it again?
Yes, give them the sneak peek. Show them this billboard. They need to see it.
They
already
need to see this greatness.
Listen, can you blow that bad boy up? Like, I need that thing to change.
This is as big as this thing gonna get.
Listen.
This is as big as this thing gonna get. I can't make this thing no bigger.
And that picture, that's a bad picture of you and my sisters. I just love it. I love it.
There it goes. Bigger.
Yes,
it's bigger.
I love it.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, that is, man, to be, it was kind of like listen, I was having a Empire State of Mind when I say New York.
Right, New York, right.
Dreams all made up. I can't sing. So, I'm not on the choir, so we're going to leave that alone. So in any event, that lots of people heard about it. See?
Right, awesome. Listen, share it, y'all. Share it. We gotta get the word out there. It's all about branding and promoting. We have to push this. This is our baby.
Listen. Wait a minute. Listen. He's like, Nashville heard about the HIM launch. Yes, so he was down there in Nashville talking all about it.
Shout out to Nashville all day. Listen,
all day, every day. Listen, this is just going to be. It's going to be what it's going to be, right? It's going to be. Say, we promoted in Nashville. Amen. Thank you. Exactly. You know what? Yes, because I'm seeing people are definitely checking it out. They like waiting, they're anticipating, and it's like,
right. And that's all my pastor and friends keep talking about is, when is the book coming? When is the book coming? When is the book coming? When is your book signing? When is your book signing? I'm like, listen, y'all, it's coming. I know. I'm just as impatient as y'all are to read my story, even though I've already lived my story, but you guys get a portion to read it. So, we still got the memoir coming too. So, listen.
And that part as well. I mean, so what, we were talking about earlier was this, their predecessor, the Queens, right here, her story.
I love it.
All the amazing women. Woo. I mean, this is still a journey. Like they're still excited about it. Like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Like, this is going into 2023. This is like the gift that keeps on giving. Exactly. It just continues and continues and continues. And now here we are with HIMStory. And as you heard, Julian said, he's our spotlight for today. It's all about him. It's all about him today. So we got 20 days of him. Like I said, yesterday was the ultimate him. It was the ultimate king. We celebrated, MLK Day, right? And we celebrated the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. So why, that was our kickoff, unofficially, officially, right? Energetically, all of those things. So now here we are, leading up to our launch. Woo! You ready? You ready? Launch.
I am ready.
Launch. Yo, Ricardo. Yes. Wait a minute. He said, look. They on fire, yo. Look.
At a women's leadership conference, we had the opportunity to educate women about the book. Awesome. Listen, awesome. I love it.
Yes. He's like, he's ready to come in. He's ready to tap in. He like, tag me in, coach. Tag me in, coach.
Right, exactly. And then he said the education piece. Like, that's what I love about it. The education piece. And that's what we want to do. Yes. We want to educate and raise awareness. Especially, like you said, when you had the U conference, I'm always going to shout out our panel, Men Don't Talk. When he said educate the women, that's the first place my mind went to. Men don't talk. In all actuality, we do talk. And we talk a lot.
Yes. A lot. Yes, Lord have mercy. Yes, y'all do. So now, since today is about you, I have to ask you, King, am I allowed to have him tap in? That's up to you.
Go ahead. Listen,
Okay.
this is for the brothers. This is for my
All right,
kings.
all
Like,
right, all right. Because I'm
we
great.
all gonna
Come
come in. Like,
on.
I don't
He's
mind sharing
excited.
my
I
platform.
gotta hear. Besides, I gotta hear this too. I gotta hear this. This is
Yeah, like
juicy, man.
I wanna, yeah, I wanna hear some
I
testimony.
gotta hear this. Wait a minute, Ricardo, Ricky, hold on. I'm gonna send it
Come
to
on
you
in
in
the
a
room.
minute, Ricky. Yeah, but the education piece, that's it. Who
Mm-hmm.
him story. So y'all don't know what we talking about.
Right.
They don't. I don't think they know what we talking about. So we just gotta let them, kind of just know
Right.
right there. There we go.
Right.
That's what they gotta
Honorable,
do.
intelligent, mature. That's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's supposed to be green, but y'all could be pink for right now. So I just
I mean,
realized I'm like,
listen,
wait a minute.
Pink Green, we all together. Because, like you said, you can't have her without him. You can't have
Can't
him
have
without,
her without him.
you
Can't
know.
and can't you can't. So that's where you're gonna go get the
And I just
information.
heard this in the spirit, so I'm gonna see if you catch on to it. I feel like
Okay.
it's one more because I know you said the women have a part two, but I hear a us story. I hear a
Oh,
us
it's no, it's our story.
our story. Right. Right. Because I want us to marry the two eventually. So
Oh
listen.
yes. Oh no, absolutely, absolutely. I'm so excited. I'm just totally messing up. Give me a second, Ricky. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. I feel like Lucy. All right, wait a minute. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let me get him in here. Cause I gotta hear this.
And that's
Okay.
powerful. A women's leadership conference also.
Yeah. And I
That's the
think I
perfect
know the
place
one he's
to
talking about too.
that's
So
that's
this
that's the, that's the perfect place to share that information.
yes. But if it's what I think it is,
Mm-hmm.
that's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
Man, lights, camera, action. Mm. Okay, all that part.
Listen,
So
I'm
listen, I
ready.
just sent it to you, Ricardo. So come on in the room. Come on in the room. Listen, you guys, like I said, this is our 20 days of him.
Mm-hmm.
20 days of him. Him literally, like you heard him say, it's honorable, intelligent, mature. Because it took a lot for them to get to this place in space. And this is the book for everybody. It's the book for men, other men to pick up and learn from these kings, learn from their past, some of their mistakes, some of their trials, some of their triumphs,
Listen,
right?
Lord
And
knows
where
I
they
made
are
plenty.
today. Say it again.
I said, Lord knows I made plenty.
We all have, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then ladies, it's a book for us too, right? Look, act like a lady, think like a man. That guy ain't got nothing on him story. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right,
Nothing.
exactly.
Because this
Exactly.
is taking it to a much deeper level.
Right.
Much deeper level. That's
But
gonna last.
I feel like with our stories for her story and him story, you get rawness, you get authenticity, you get
Yes.
transparency.
Yes.
Like especially
Yes.
by the time we get to my story, because that's another
Yes.
thing too. It's hard to talk about this without giving
Yes.
y'all a portion of it, but that's why I say it's the book is coming, y'all. Hold on.
Okay. Wait a minute. When I tell you how committed his wife was like, he's coming. He is in the car, y'all. Like, listen, listen. I got listen. Boy, come on, man.
What's up, my beautiful people? How are you?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Man, I just got off a flight. I just woke up. I just landed in Orlando from Nashville, and I'm just so
Okay.
excited and thrilled because my wife and I had a huge opportunity. So she was at a women's leadership conference in Nashville. We're talking about 5,000 women and their spouses who were empowered, who were lifted. The Holy Spirit was all over. It was amazing. And obviously, because we've been promoting this book, everybody was asking, Ricky, who's him? Ricky, are you him? Ricky, where is him? And I was just like, these are the perfect questions,
Mhm.
the perfect questions.
Exactly.
So it was definitely an opportunity to educate and explain to everybody what this
Mhm.
hymn story is about, what to expect. What impressed me the most is that while I was doing my little, I guess like my speech from the elevator, that 10-15 second breakdown, the look in their eyes. And some feedback I got is I've never heard of a book like this. I've never heard of a concept like such. So literally, I just got my luggage. I'm here with my lovely wife, and we are
Yay.
just really, really, really excited. Spoke to the bartender about it, spoke to the housekeeping lady about it, and just told them look out for it because it's gonna change the world. It's something really, really big. Thank you for letting me in. Like I said, I know this is a little informal. I'm in the car right now heading home, but
That's
man,
okay.
No,
Tell the
you're
Uber
okay.
driver about it.
Right.
as soon
Exactly.
as I turned the airplane mode off, it said Carolyn is live. I said, "Oh man, I have to get in here." So here I
Mhm.
am. It was really, really cool.
Oh man,
Listen,
thank
I
you.
keep telling y'all what I'm ready to do. I'm ready to meet some people, sign some books. I'm ready to hug on some folks, love on some folks, pray on somebody. Like,
Practice that
for
signature.
me,
Practice those
this is just an
signatures.
extension. It's just an extension of my ministry. That's what this is.
That's
Oh
it.
my gosh. Oh
Mhm.
my gosh.
That's
Man.
it. Just the
Mhm.
look on everybody's face. The
Mhm.
questions were just amazing,
Who is
amazing,
him?
and
What's him? See,
literally, who is him? What's him? Where is him? And it's the perfect question to answer exactly what it is. It's all
Mhm.
about men from all over the world who want to open up their hearts and their brains and let everybody in on what it's like to be him.
Exactly.
Honorable, intelligent, mature, and their eyes would just open up. Men, women, everyone. Their eyes would just open up and say, wow. I said, absolutely. We all had an opportunity to open up our hearts, our lives, our brains, and let everybody in. And let
Mhm.
everybody in. So it's going to be huge. And then what was even cool about it was that they always saw contributing author. So who's
Right.
the main author? And that just opened up a whole nother can of worms.
Right.
Well, let me tell you about the queen who rattled up all these kings.
Mhm.
And there we
Right.
went and we saw Times Square. So it was really, really, really cool opportunity. Thank you
Mhm.
guys for having me on. I know this was improvised last minute. I just got off a flight, but
yeah, thank
I love
you.
you
And
Listen,
guys.
did
I'm
you
these are
excited.
showed them the time
these
look
are
the
the
Times
best
Square?
scenarios when it's just organic like this.
When it's just
Yes,
organic. So
yes.
you shared that with them?
Absolutely, absolutely. And they were just, wow, where did you meet this person? I said, listen, God works in miraculous ways. It's a long story. I didn't have time on the spot just to tell them how it happened, but it was just insane.
Listen, I'm sorry that billboard keeps messing me up. When I saw that thing, I said, "She joking, right?" I said, "Wait a
I
minute."
said,
I'm
oh
like,
my
I thought
God.
she cropped this thing or something. I said, "She must have cropped this." I'm like, "This is really happening in real time." I told y'all, I'm going to New York to find the billboard. Like, I am going to do it. So when y'all see me take my picture above that thing, okay, with the thumbs up like this, just know I found the billboard. And like I said, I'm waiting for our billboard for HIMStory because I can already see it
That's
now.
what I said. Y'all
I see
next.
it now.
Listen,
Yes,
get
yes, absolutely.
And this is just the confirmation to the word that my pastor spoke over me yesterday. Because like I was saying earlier, he preached and he laid hands on me about that. And he said the book is already a bestseller. It's already a bestseller. And I
Wow,
believe it. I believe it
absolutely.
wholeheartedly. Mm.
yeah, I like that. The questions. Well, who's him? Mm. Because I even had someone say, "Well, why not history? Why not his story?"
Right, right, right.
Right.
Definitely got those questions.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people ask me, what other books have you written? And then that's where I would start laughing, literally, right? So I would just start laughing and then waiting for my answer. And I said, I'm not a writer. I don't know anything about grammar. This is not my thing. I was
Mm-hmm.
just invited to just participate in a chapter, just open up my heart and my soul and let everybody in. Like, wow, that's amazing. Like, who came up with that concept? Wow, him. And then I brought up her, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was just wowed. So I'm really, 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 really excited to be part of something that the kind of feedback we're getting back is is impressive. Is
Right.
Wow.
impressive. M-
Wow.
m- my hope and prayer is that one of our chapters can impact or change one person's lives, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I think not us, but God did His work through us, through our challenges, through our hardship, and through your obedience. And through your sacrifice, Carolyn, and through your hard work, for this to come to light and be possible. Thank you so much for having me. Sorry to cut you guys short. I got a meeting to start.
No,
I'm just
you're
getting home
fine.
now. I love
That's
you
okay.
guys. Love you, my
Listen,
brother.
I love it when my brothers come on because I mean,
Yes.
listen, it's not just me. This is our story. This is his story.
Absolutely.
I'm not
Yes.
the only one.
Absolutely.
We are
Oh
all
man.
contributing our
Thank
things.
you for
So,
that. Look, thank you for that
right.
praise report. That was a
And
praise report.
listen,
Okay.
and let me just encourage you real
Absolutely.
quick because it's funny that you mentioned that you are not a writer. So you
Mm.
just made me
Right.
think of something. The last time I wrote something and published anything was actually in high school. I think I was in my either junior or sophomore year. My English teacher, her name was Miss Sama. Every year she would have us in a creative writing class and we would write
Right.
poems. And she would put different topics on the board. So my topic at the time, I chose to write a poem based around HIV. And the name of that
Wow.
poem was Goodbye, My Beloved Girlfriend. That was the last time I wrote and published anything. So let's fast forward to now, me being 31, getting ready to be 32 in another week. When I saw the opportunity, I had to jump on it because everybody was always telling me, you need to write a book, you need to write a book, you need to write a book, you need to write a book. And I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll write the book. And then you think, okay, who's really going to read this? Who's ready to deal with the things I got to talk about? Who are we going to read? So like you said, you ask yourself those questions.
Right.
What, when, why, how, who's going to publish it? How am I going to find a person to edit it? All of those things start hitting you. And before you know it, you're like, you know what? Yeah, maybe another time, or you just put it in the back of your mind. And then when I saw on my timeline that you were saying anybody that wanted to be an author, it was just like God was like, ding, ding, ding. Now is your opportunity. It's the time. Like, so listen, thank you for taking me out of my comfort zone. Because listen, I told her this, you know, my story, number one, is very complex. It's something that we as a Black community, I gotta signal it out this way. As a Black community, we're still not really ready to really deal with or talk about, especially when it comes to the church.
Yes.
So writing that, it put me in a very uncomfortable place. And then you hear God on one side saying keep writing, then you hear the enemy saying that, you putting this out there now. So now everybody's gonna be pointing at you, and now folks gonna be looking at you different, and now you're gonna do this and that. And I just heard God, keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. And I told my sis, I was like, when I say I literally wrestled with this thing, like I'm writing stuff, taking stuff out, adding stuff in. I'm taking a break from it because my head's starting to hurt. So I'm going back to it, rereading everything from top to bottom. And it was like I just kept adding more and more stuff to the point where even you was like, Julian, I think you went over your words. And I was like, we did? Like, because I'm like, you said 1,000 words to 1,100. I think you said I went over to like what, 5,600 or something like that.
I'm not even gonna put it out there. You
listen, like
I agree. I agree.
Listen, I know I definitely went over my time. I'm gonna talk about it because I wrote it. Okay, I wrote it. So
Listen,
I think I went over that. But
I definitely relate.
Whatever you guys need to do with it. Listen, I trust y'all, but
right,
as long as people get the main gist of what I'm trying to say and convey, to God be all the glory. So, like you said,
listen, but you did the first thing and you got it out, right?
Right, we got it out.
And that's the most important thing. So that's why I was like, I'm gonna get him, but you did exactly what I asked you to do, right?
Right,
So
because like I said, when you tell your story, like I said, it puts you in that very vulnerable place, and it was uncomfortable. So I had to really get through all of that. And then, I'm a seer. That's how I learn. I have to see it. So even in my writing, when I'm writing, like I said, I'll stop and I'll really look over it. I'll see if I need to add a word, take a word out, because that's just the natural editor in me. Because, that was always my subject in school. I'm a horrible math person. Don't ask me nothing about no math, but I can tell you everything about English, So that's just normal for me. It's like, okay, wait a minute, take this word out, put this one in, put a comma here, punctuation there. So it was just going through that over and over and over again. And by the time I got done with it, I was just like, okay, submit this thing to her.
You was like, I'm done.
My job accomplished. And it just felt like a big burden was lifted off of my shoulder.
But you know what I can tell you that I noticed for the guys, you know, and shout out to King William, he just jumped on. He said hello. So that's another one.
Hey, what's up?
So, you know, and I'm glad to hear it from the ones who have already, you know, who went through this process and shared with me, was like, man, that was difficult. That was hard. Because one, first and foremost, trying to find the time to do it. That's the first and foremost thing, right? And then two, it's like, am I really going to talk about this? Like, what am I writing? Like, and then once you get started to write, it's like, this ain't easy. You know, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is stretching me. This is a stretch. Good.
Right. a real stretch, like a rubber band or like a slingshot.
Yeah, I've been told that. Now I'm just saying, I've been told that I kind of karate kick people in a nice, loving way. I'm just saying.
You do. You do.
Virtually.
You're real strategic with your kicks. You're
it's like like wax on, wax off.
Right.
But no, but I mean, I'm just so glad that, you know, like you were able to identify that and just say, hey, listen, like this wasn't easy. But I'm glad that you trusted the process, because it's going to show other men, right, that they can tap into that piece of them too, right? And they can really get to, and like you said, it just, now it's done.
Right. And
I can see the lightness literally in all of you. Like, it's just, see, look at that smile. Look, Ricky's like, yeah. That's it right there. That $1 million smile. Ricky's like, yeah.
$1 million smile. Before I leave, I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Right before I leave, I will leave you guys with this. A few people that were asking me about the book, and I said, well, look, it's gonna launch, you gotta buy it. No inside scoop. And for everyone watching, I learned how to write a sentence in 10th grade in high school. That's all I'm gonna say. 10th grade, I learned by the book what it is to write a sentence. And at 39 years old, this Puerto Rican boy who's right here, who's a contributing author, has a chapter in a book. I love you guys.
Best-selling author.
And this is just the first of many more to come. I'm gonna speak that into the atmosphere. This is just the beginning. I do believe
that's it. Absolutely. I love you guys a bunch. Have a great evening. Thank you for having me.
All right,
Jay, love you, brother.
See you,
bye, guys.
Bye. So listen, talk about praise report, right? Praise report.
Right.
Look,
listen,
maybe get out.
I feel old school tonight. Come on, who else is on there that want to testify? I want to testify.
Look, you see, I left my seat. I said, wait, I can't be running all the way around.
I said she done took off running.
I'm like, I can't. Almost tripped and fell and everything. Look, Joseph, like, what up? All the kings are coming in.
Listen, come on in the room. I want my brothers in here with me, okay?
Oh, you want them in? Okay.
Yes, it's my night, but I want my brothers here with me. I don't want to do this.
See, okay. See, listen, this is how they do, right? This is what family do. This is what family do. Let's see. What he say? God bless. Listen, I'm just going to let y'all all in the room then and see if y'all come in. Y'all come in. Man, when I tell you, this is touching my soul in so many different ways. So, you know, I got to share this too. So you guys know to go to HIMStory anthology, bit.ly, the thing that I put. But did you know that when you go there, because I see y'all going there, right? But I also see they just going there. See, but I need y'all to go there, and I need y'all to get on board so that way we can keep you posted when we're going to do all this amazing stuff with HIMStory. And guess what you also get? You get to get this bad boy for 99 cents if you pre-order this thing. I'm just saying, 99 cents. You got 99 cents. Come on now. The dollar store not even $1 anymore. It's $1.25.
Exactly. Right. Right. The dollar store is moving on to the dollar store. I love it. 99 cents.
That's to go to HIMStory, right? Anthology. Do you see it right there? bit.ly /HIMStory anthology. And I need you to put your information in and then go and get this bad boy for 99 cents. Pre-order it, because bestseller. How they going to get bestseller? When you guys pre-order it. And we already, as soon as we come dropping, we're going to drop it with thousands of copies. I'm just, we're going to speak that into the atmosphere, right? We're going to just say thousands of copies already.
Thousands. It's already gonna sell. It's a bestseller. I feel it.
It's a
I really
bestseller.
do feel it.
We
And
already claimed it.
and
We
like my
named
brother
it
was
and we
saying
claimed
earlier,
it.
like he said, if we reach run, but I really do believe and I feel it in my spirit that this book is going to reach millions. It's
Oh,
going
it's
to
going
reach
to reach
many.
many,
We
many.
gonna speak that into the atmosphere because,
Oh, all the way in
like I
the
said,
atmosphere.
somebody needs to hear this. Especially with everything that's going on. My pastor
Yeah.
was just saying, Sunday, this week alone, he's going to be at probably like 5 different funerals, and people are going out of here. So, even with stretch and suicide and all of those stuff, like,
Yes.
mental illness is real. And I touched on that a little bit in my story just to
Right.
raise that awareness.
Yeah.
It's okay to go to somebody and talk to somebody.
But you know
Like I
what?
tell people,
But you know what? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you
go
off.
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. What are you about to say?
Because I forgot. See, y'all say men don't talk, but he was talking. I just straight up cut him off. So go ahead and finish.
But no, I was just saying that to, like I said, just to raise awareness because just like with like stretch, and the whole suicide, and I actually lost a good friend of mine, one of my best friends, to suicide. And it's okay to sit and talk to somebody. I know, especially those of us that have came up strict holiness or strict church backgrounds, oh well, give it to God and pray and do all this and that, and everything's going to be all right. There's a scripture in the Bible that says it's according to the faith that worketh in you. So I can't tell someone that doesn't know anything about church, doesn't understand the protocol, doesn't understand the lingo, doesn't understand the language or the culture, to just go home, pray, and everything's going to be all right. Not realizing that this person is battling anxiety, they're battling depression, they may be bipolar. Listen, and they may be just dealing with traumatic things. They may be a rape victim. They may be going through abuse. They may be in just a jacked up relationship. I can't just send you home with that alone and feel in my heart and my spirit that that's going to be enough for you, especially when your faith is nowhere near that. See, when it comes to our relationships with God, the Bible says we go from faith to faith, from glory to glory, but you also have to build your faith somewhere, and that's going to take some time. So I'm saying all that to say it is okay to go and talk to someone. I've been seeing a therapist now for 4 years. I struggle with chronic depression and anxiety, but thanks be unto God, I do not take any medication. And I had a conversation with my therapist about this. And, I just like to ask questions. I feel like if you don't ask questions, you won't get answers. So don't be afraid to ask questions, y'all. So I asked her one day, I said, well, why don't you medicate me? Or do you feel like I need to take medication? And she looked me square in my face and she said, no. She said, I have no reason to medicate you. And I was kind of flabbergasted a little bit. I'm like, okay, well, why is that? And she said, because for you, you know how to deal and come out of it. You don't go from one extreme to the next. And I said, well, what do you mean about extremes? And she broke it down. She said, now let's just say, how you work. Let's just say you quit your job. You wasn't getting up out of the bed. You wasn't bathing, or you wasn't doing your daily routines to make it or function in everyday life. Then that gives me a reason to medicate you. But she was like, you get up, you function, you're very high functioning at that, praise God. But that was some of the reasons. But she also let me know too, and I respect her realness and transparency. She said it's your journey. This is your journey. So if you feel the need to medicate, then you open up your mouth and let me know. And I told her, I said, okay, I respect that. And she was like, how do you feel about all that? I said, I take it all in, I receive it. And like I said, thanks be unto God, still to this day, I do not take medication. And even my days that I would go, I went from going to therapy every Tuesday faithfully to now I just go every other Tuesday. So even that is, coming down. And even for people that go to therapy, this might shock a lot of people. I asked her, do you see me doing this for the rest of my life? And she honestly told me, no, I don't. She said, I do see that pretty soon this will come to an end one day. She was like, because some people do need it for the rest of their lives. And then some people, once they use the tools and they get to where they need to go, or you reach, whatever you're trying to reach, then, there comes a time where, she has to release me and, I have to let you go. So, like I said, Y'all keep on, keeping on. And like I said, talk to somebody, please, because that is a myth that men, we do not talk, but we do. We do. And like I said, we have a lot to say, but you have to be willing to open up your mind, open up your heart, and most importantly, actively listen. Actively listen. So that was my little spill for y'all.
And I hope
and this is coming from a licensed minister. Okay, I am a minister of the gospel, so I'm saying it out loud. Anybody want to challenge me? We can go at it. I'm gonna do it in love, but we can go at it. Go get yourself some help. Do not suffer alone in silence. Don't stay in those dark rooms too long. Don't isolate yourself too long. Talk to someone. It's okay. Somebody's listening. Somebody cares. Somebody loves you. And most importantly, we already know God loves you.
Exactly. And you know what? It's like, thank you for sharing that, because what I was going to say earlier, and I hope you guys saw what happened. Like, I need you to pay attention to what happened. So he was talking. I jumped right in because I had something to say, but he was already talking.
Mm-hmm.
And I fell back. Because what I had to say, I can say it later. But we already say men don't talk, right? But they don't talk when we do that. Ladies, I want you to pay attention to what just happened. I cut him off. And because I had to get my point across. But I didn't. I sat back and I let him talk. And boy, did he talk. And he shared. I see Joseph smiling like, yeah. And see, that's how we get to this myth of they don't talk. They do. We just gotta listen. And as Julian said, active listening. And so I actively listen. And what I heard in the beginning, but I said, no, I can wait because there's more that's coming out. See, if I would have just jumped right in and just said, oh yeah, because you know what, all the other men said that too. He may be like, okay, then you don't need to hear what I got to say. Then I would have just shut him down and he wouldn't have said nothing. Right. So, yeah. So, I mean, listen, all of that. I know I'm about, look, Julia's like, let him in the room. I'm about to let him in the room. Mm-hmm. But I had to point that out.
Because I need some help now. I feel my help coming on. I need some ammunition. Listen, this is what minister does for a living. After a while, I get tired sometimes.
Listen. What's going on, Joseph?
What up?
What's going on, y'all? How's everybody feeling?
Oh, we are feeling blessed good. And amazing.
Like I said, I'm ready to do some touring. Like, can we do this tonight? I'm ready to get dressed. Throw these locks in the
ponytail. Yeah. I'm always down for a little tour. I like a little tour. Okay.
We have to come down to the ATL.
Come on.
Listen. I thank you for jumping on. I know this is the 20 days of him. So yesterday was the ultimate, kickoff, unofficially and officially, because of the king himself, Martin Luther King. We celebrated the legacy of this man yesterday, and just energetically, because I'm always about energetically, because instead of bringing one of y'all on last night, I said, no, we're going to let that day be a today. Mm-hmm. And we'll start today.
and I'm sorry, I got to interject because this is in my spirit, like 2 seconds. I'm sorry, but to whoever created that statue, I'm going to need y'all to go back and do that first work all over again. I was not pleased. I'm sorry. I don't know what was going on, but to honor the king that has done so much for us and seeing what I saw with that statue, yeah, to whoever you are, take it down and do it over again, or don't do it at all. Let us just honor the king the way we want to honor the king. That's all. And if y'all haven't seen the statue, go look at it. That's all I'm going to say. Go look at it. Because one thing I do not like is when we make a mockery of our public figures. And a lot of the comments and the things that have been said about this statue have really grieved my heart. It really has. I understand art has many interpretations and things of that nature, but that one, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. He has spoken.
Hey, I can't. There's nothing I can say.
I can't either. Continue, King.
There's nothing I can say about that there.
So we are in the 20 days of him.
Mm-hmm.
20 days leading up to him. We launched this thing officially on February 11th. We announced it on January 11th. You guys have been sending stuff out there. We just had Ricardo just jumped on. He literally just got off of a plane. Literally, he was in the back of the Uber and he jumped on. I don't know if you got to see it. And he had some like good praise report news. He was at a conference with his wife, Liz, and over what did he say? It was a lot of people.
He said it was over 5,000 women.
Yeah.
5,000 women.
And so I didn't want to say the wrong number. I remember 5, but he said the question everyone kept asking was like, Ricardo, who's him? What's him? Are you him? Like, it was all these questions around him. Like, are you getting this too?
I've gotten a few questions. Because I haven't posted it myself yet.
It's coming.
And I haven't posted it myself because for a hot second, God had to deal with me and what I shared in my excerpt. And I had to get to the space to recognize that I can't be concerned with whose feelings it may hurt versus whose life it will save.
Listen, he about to make me tap real quick. Because see, I knew I wasn't the only one. I knew I wasn't the only one feeling that. Listen, y'all walking my therapy tonight.
I had to let him work on me a little bit. And also, I get married next week. So we've also kind of been busy with a lot of that. Like today, I'm really just coming in the house from meeting with the venue and finalizing everything as far as that is concerned. So today was crazy by itself. So I really haven't really been on Facebook or posting or doing really much of anything else other than wedding things. But for a minute, I was like, I know some feelings is going to be hurt.
Say it again for the people in the back.
I literally was like, I know some feelings are going to be hurt. But then I had to remember why I did it. And why I said yes from the beginning. And my life overall, me sharing my story, being who I am and getting to where I am is the thing that somebody else needs and another brother is probably going to need. So I had to take a step back for a second and not be so consumed with, oh man, whose feelings am I about to hurt? Who's going to be mad at me after they read this? Who's going to feel like this or who's going to feel like that? And I had to remove the feeling and say, okay, but whose life can I save? And if my word saves one person,
amen,
then it's worth it. It's worth whatever that comes from it. But I was very I don't want to say professional, but I was very discreet in my sharing. So unless you know, then you won't know. But I went there because the stigma is that men don't talk. Well, I'm actually show you that, no, we do talk. The real thing is, why aren't you listening? And just because it doesn't sound like the way you want it to sound doesn't mean we're not talking. Like I was talking to some brothers of mine who, because I'm starting to do more as far as ministry is concerned. And they had come over and I was talking to one of the gentlemen and I asked him a question that has stumped him for the last 5 days. And the question was, well, what is it that you really want from a woman? And he runs down this list. And I said, no, that's not what you really want. That's the surface of what you want. You can get that from anything. Like, what do you really want? And then later on, he called me and he said, I've been thinking about that question all day. And I've come to the recollection and I've come to the realization, rather, that I don't know what I want. And I said, yeah, I know. You got mommy issues. And that's why you don't know what you want. Because you're trying to fix what's going on with you and mommy in these women that you deal with. It ain't gonna work. And he was like, bruh, you on it. I said, I've always heard all my life, and I've heard women say to other women, don't act like his husband. Don't do things like you're his husband. Don't you acting like his husband. But I've never heard a woman say, son, don't act like her husband. I've never heard a woman, no, I'm sorry, rather, don't do things like you're his wife, rather, I'm sorry. You acting like a wife and you're not really a wife yet. Don't act like his wife. I've never heard women say, son, don't act like her husband. I've never heard a woman say, son, don't pay for that date. I've never heard a woman say, son, don't pay her bills. I've never heard the realness come out. So it's okay for me to act like her husband, but it's not okay for her to act like my wife. Why? And it's just because we speak in two different languages. That's it. To me, it boils down on the languages. Women, our wonderful queens, speak one way because you process outwardly, you process externally. And us men, we process inwardly. Which is why when we speak, it's straight to the point. But ladies, when y'all speak, sometimes it bounces off for every single wall. For this, then you get to it. Because you're thinking out loud, literally. But we think inside, and then we go in one straight line. So y'all might see a little podcast or something coming up too. Who knows?
Listen, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
It's been interesting.
And it's funny because going back to the tools that they gave me in therapy, a lot of times for women and men, it's a tool that my therapist taught me, and it takes a while for both sides to learn it. It's called active listening. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times when we listen, we just listen to respond.
Right.
We don't listen to actually understand and take in and receive the information. We're just listening to give your response. And sometimes even in the active listening, that's all it is. Sometimes it doesn't even require a response. It's just, okay, I'm just going to take in what you're saying. But a lot of times for men and women, when we talk, we just, okay, what's the first response I can give? What's the first answer I can give? Especially when you're talking about things that may be a little uneasy or uncomfortable, because we have a tendency to get defensive mode. And even for me, that's what I had to learn. A lot of times I had to learn how not to be so offensive. Because I was the type, if I heard something and listen, okay, we going. We going. Like I had a response waiting somewhere for you. Like, wait a minute, we're not doing this today. Now it's just to the point where it's like I can take it in and not say nothing at all. To the point where sometimes people are like, wait a minute, are you actually listening? Yeah, I'm listening. I'm just taking in what you're saying. Because it's not meant for me to respond.
I got to a space in my life very early because I'm only 27. So I got to a space in my life very early where my response is based upon what it changes. So if my response doesn't change anything, then it's not needed.
Right.
Because early in my business careers, a gentleman taught me that you never answer the question that's not asked. When you're recruiting, that's a recruiting technique, but I've used it in my life because all of life, as far as I'm concerned, is sales and recruiting. When you're trying to get a girlfriend, you recruiting. Okay. Hey, baby, you're talking your good stuff. You put your good stuff on. You're recruiting. You're recruiting your mate, as far as I'm concerned. So you never answer the question that's not asked. So I took that as you never respond to things when a response isn't always needed. Mm-hmm. If my response does not change anything, or my attitude afterwards isn't going to change anything, then it's not needed. It's a wasted time and energy.
Mm-hmm.
And
sometimes we have to allow people that space just to vent. And I think we forget that. Sometimes that's all it is. It's just, I just need to dump. Yeah. And it's like, that's what I tell people. A lot of times, even with me going to therapy, that's what I told my therapist. It's just hard for me to find somebody to dump on, especially when you're always the source. I always got to be the strength. I always got to be the prayer warrior. I always got to be the one to hug on you and love on you and tell you everything going to be all right. I always got to be the provider when money is short, or, you know, even when I don't have it, I got to go and figure out a way to get it, not just for me, but for you. So it's like when you're dealing with all of that, and then on Sunday, I have to be the praise and worship leader. I have to do scripture. I have to give a word when I'm called upon to do so. You know, I have to serve. When you're dealing with all of that stuff, all you're doing is just learning how to suppress what you're really dealing with. And that's what I had to learn, like I said, at 31, transitioning into 32 in another week. So all of that trauma and things that I buried, I thought I dealt with it, but I really just buried. And then when it just came out like a Pandora's box, it's like, okay, what do we do now to shut this and keep it shut? Like, what do we do? Because all of this is unleashed. And it's like, now I'm crying. And I've never cried this much. You know, it took a lot for me to cry. Now I could be listening to a song or watching something on a movie, and it's like, I'm boo-hooing. And I told my therapist, like, what is going on? And she said, sweetie, that's just your feelings starting to catch up with you. So now I'm at that point where I'm starting to feel, and even that is a very uncomfortable place. So that's why I said, even with our stories, like I said, that vulnerability. Because listen, the same thing that you said, my story, it's going to cause a lot of people going to be looking at me like, what? Especially when you've participated in stuff with a certain group of people and you've committed certain acts. So now it's like, I'm really out there because it's like, oh, well, wait a minute. You was just here. You was just here a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But now you're saying you're here. But people don't understand the change is real. The growth is real. I'm not the same person who I was 18 years ago. I'm different now. It's a different Julian. And a lot of times we don't understand that maturity aspect for men and women. Because some of these women are immature too now. Like, I hate to be blunt with it like that, but you have some women that are immature too. So I'm learning now it's a maturity aspect for everybody. And at some point, you got to get to the point where you get sick and tired of being sick and tired and you just want to grow up.
Right.
And with my story, that has birthed a lot because now I'm smack dab in the face of change. I already was on the process, but now I'm here. What's up? You're here now. And like you said, people are going to have questions. They're going to ask. They're going to look at you sideways. Some people may even stop talking to me for it. But like you said, is it my will? Or is it God's will? Because like you said, if I'm called to this, it's all about saving souls. Because like you said, even if we save one life, even if I can save one young man that may be struggling with some things, he don't know who he is. He don't know what his identity is. He don't know what the gender is or whatever the case may be. If I can save him from committing suicide or making that wrong choice or deciding to cross over to the other side, then to God be all the glory. To God be all the glory. Because it's no goodness of my own.
Yeah. My prayer for this is that this is not seen as men bashing women, one, and it's not seen as men complaining. Because the moment a man opens his mouth, it's automatically an excuse or complaining. And my prayer is people see the heart in each person's words and don't look to it as a man is just complaining. Because let me tell you something. Writing that started my healing. And it's been like a train ride. Because I am getting married next week. And I decided that I'm not going to get married broken. Because my soon-to-be wife and children don't deserve that.
Exactly.
My children didn't ask to be here. My wife didn't ask to be married to a broken man. And so it's my due diligence to make sure that when I walk into this next phase, that I walk in whole, because it comes with its own set of circumstances that the broken me isn't going to have time to fix me and deal with those.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided, as well as I don't want to pass on the generational curse,
Yeah.
I've decided that when it comes time to deal with my children and their things, that I will be healed from my own and I can help them through theirs. See, what happens is when it's passed down, and you know when it gets passed down because you see it in your kids and then you don't know what to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how to help them. And that's when, you got to start asking help from all these different people, and then someone comes in to help and takes advantage. When if we would just deal with our stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and where we're broken, where we're hurting, where we're unhealed from, we wouldn't pass it on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want
see,
my child to work nearly as hard as I did.
And
She will know what hard work is, but she won't work as hard.
You're talking about that self-evaluation that a lot of us do not know how to do, and that's something universal. And I tell people this all the time. Shout out to Michael Jackson, because I don't even think he realized how prophetic that song was when he put pen to paper and said,
"No way.
I'm talking to the man in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking him to change his ways, because we don't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to self-reflect, but we're always quick to put our stuff onto somebody else. Mm-hmm. And we don't necessarily want to own up to our own stuff, because some of this stuff somebody didn't make us do. These were conscious decisions that we made. Mm-hmm. See, I willingly made a conscious decision to do what I did. Mm-hmm. Nobody had my hands behind my back. I wasn't blindfolded. I wasn't coerced. I wasn't in my right frame of mind. I was in my right frame of mind. I was there. I knew what was going on. And guess what? I wanted it. But a lot of times what we fail to realize too is that when we make decisions and choices, there's always a consequence or a price that we have to pay. And a lot of times we don't want to pay that price for the decisions and choices that we make. So that self-examination piece is definitely real. It's definitely real. And like you said, when you don't break the generational curses, like you said, now all you have is just a generation of brokenness. And like you said, you don't know where it comes from because we're not self-evaluating. We're not going back and saying, okay, well, wait a minute, he dealing with this, but this happened to grandmom, and it happened to her sisters, it happened to my mom, and now we just got generational curses running through the generations before somebody says, you know what, not so. I'm gonna break this curse. It might have happened to grandmama, it might have happened to my mom, but it's not gonna happen to me. It's not going to happen to my kids. It's not going to happen to their kids.
Right.
No, like, 100%. Listen, the Clark sisters recorded the song. Karen said, it ain't coming to my house. It ain't coming to my house.
No, 100%.
It's not coming to my house.
And I'm such a savage with it that I'm even willing to break the curse of toxicity amongst family.
Right.
See, because we all good with breaking generational curses when it comes to being broke, when it comes to rape or molestation, when it comes, to who you believe in or who you deal with or who you love. We all good with breaking those generational curses. But us as a culture, we don't want to break the generational curse of how we disrespect our mothers, brothers, and sisters.
Exactly.
We don't want to break them curses. We don't want to break the curses of having a genuine relationship with our fathers. We don't want to break them curses.
But we quick to say Black Lives Matter, though. We got that side. We got that side. Black Lives Matter. Do they really?
And I'm also breaking the generational curse of silence. That silence of let's just sweep it under the rug. Let's not address it or deal with it. No.
Right.
You need help. Let's go find it.
Because as men, and I hate to go there, but as Black men, that's literally embedded in us. You can't cry. You can't be weak. You can't feel nothing. If you ain't 24 hours a day, 10 days a week, now it's like you're emasculated, which is not so.
That's because literally what my
sis said too. What we fail to realize is that we all have a touch of femininity and masculinity in us. Even the Bible says Jesus wept, and that's the sort of scripture in the book. And that was Jesus, the Savior of the world, the sacrificial lamb. Even he cried,
and he was a savage.
Exactly. the same Jesus that whipped folks out of the temple for gambling.
The same Jesus
Jesus
sent people to go wipe out
helped the woman
cities.
in adultery. Okay.
He sent people to wipe out cities when they
Right,
denounced the name
exactly.
of Jesus. This same Jesus, this same
Right.
God, man.
Even he wept. And even he got scared. Because he also said in the Garden of Gethsemane, God, if this be your will, let this cup pass. Let the cup pass. So even he had anxiety, even he got nervous, even he was scared.
Yeah.
But we're not allowed to feel these things.
That's literally what my father taught me. He used to say, boys don't cry, men don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. And eventually I got to like, what do you mean? This hurt.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean don't cry? And I found myself even with, now that I have children, see, God knew what he was doing. My first child is a girl. That child makes me love her.
Mm-hmm.
How she needs it, not how I want to give it. And will not stop until she gets what she needs from me. And then she's perfectly fine. So he knew what he was doing when he gave me a girl first. Because I'm telling y'all, this girl draws every ounce of emotion that I even think that I could possibly have out. I look at her and I'll be ready to, and she, whoop, no problem, baby girl. No problem, baby girl. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited for women to read it. I'm excited for men to read it. I'm excited for fathers to read it. I'm excited for sons to read it because I really believe, and for me, perception is reality. What you believe, how you see it is your reality. And I really believe that reading this book will give people the other side that's unspoken.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that if people can get the unexplained explained, there creates room for understanding. And when you've got an understanding, that creates room for grace. See, because when I understand why a person's doing things, I can be a lot more patient with them. Mm-hmm. When I just don't understand why you're doing what you're doing, it get on my nerves a whole lot more that you're doing it.
Right.
So I believe that this is going to give people an understanding. And then there will be more grace on all parts.
And I have this saying I always say to people, everybody has a story to tell. I'm just one that's willing to listen. Like I'm that one because, like you said, I want to know the who, what, when, where, why, how. Like I want to know that. Where did it come from? Why are you feeling what you're feeling? What happened? What took place? And how do we kill it? And how do we kill it so that it doesn't come back? Because I don't want to just, I don't want to just hurt it. Because anything that's hurt, it can always heal itself and come back 10 times worse. Mm-hmm. So I want to kill it so it doesn't come back at all.
And I think that once we continue this, we're opening the lines of communication. We're opening the thread so that we can all start talking again. And let me tell you something that happens when people start talking. When people start talking, anything's possible. Yes. We can save souls, countries, villages, families, when people start talking.
Leave it alone, because I feel like Acts chapter 2 in my spirit, they were all in one place with one accord. With one accord.
Talking.
And y'all had me back here.
Husbands and wives talking.
Right.
We can get fathers and sons talking, mothers and sons talking. I listen, I'm trying to tell you that this is so far beyond.
Bigger than all of us.
It is.
And there's
bigger than all of
things prophesied over me. And just because y'all are connected to me now, it is now you're given the grace and favor that I have been given and prophesied. But I was prophesied that my life this year would be put on radios, on television, on a whole bunch of different platforms, that people will know my name from the things that we work on through this year. And I believe that this is only the beginning.
Right. Right.
It's
Absolutely.
only the beginning.
Oh, Lord have mercy. My feet getting light over here, y'all. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. And you said you getting married, so I'm gonna need you to drop a cash app because you about to get a blessing.
Oh, thank you guys. Yeah.
Listen,
I am.
I believe in sowing on good ground. And like I was saying earlier, this is just confirmation because my pastor preached on Sunday. He came out of 2 Kings 20th chapter, verses 1-6. And he preached about finding your wall. And when I say I found my wall on Sunday, and he prophesied and said the book is already a bestseller, I just lost it. And I don't know if you've seen the billboard, but like I told her, I'm just waiting for his story billboard. So I'm gonna go and take a picture in front of her story, that billboard. That is something I'm going to do.
I want that billboard to stand up and stay there. You know why I want it to stay there? Because I believe that HIMStory and her story will take an entire strip of billboard.
Exactly.
Not just a billboard, but
yes, Lord, a strip of billboards.
And will be seen and recognized nationally, globally, internationally. I really didn't. When people ask you to do things, you don't really take it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But when, I believe the word of the Lord, period. That's just period, point blank, period. And when I start hearing things that I know I haven't discussed openly, start coming back to me and start playing. Like a brother of mine prophesied that I would be heard through the radio. And he didn't even know that I had a radio interview for this the very next morning. I said, okay. Okay. All right. I know it's divine assignment. And when I tell y'all the hell that we went through to make sure that this wedding is still happening, I already know what's about to go down.
Right.
The adversity from all fronts. My family, her family, my friends, her family, all the way around. My best man just backed out a day ago.
Yeah.
And the wedding is next Saturday. I mean, we've had frozen accounts, broken cards. I mean, everything that could have happened has. But I understand what type of adversity this is.
Mm-hmm.
And then a brother of mine came on live and he said, everything that you've spent, God is about to give it back to you double the day you get married. I said, So we're in the right place at the right time, doing the right things with the right people.
Right.
It's just lock in.
Right.
Lock in. I mentioned to my pastor that I was doing this, and he said, wow. Now, mind you, my pastor has almost 1 million followers on TikTok and over 200,000 followers on Instagram. And he said, if you need me to share it, I will. My pastor.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
He's written some books.
Mm-hmm.
He was so excited when I mentioned it to him. And you know what is crazy? Because you sent me the flyer and I was sitting right next to him and he said, what's that? He said, what's that?
He's like,
and that's why I said this is just confirmation. It's crazy because I shared this back in December at my church, and it's like I was telling her, my pastor and first lady, they both have books, and my pastor is actually gospel music royalty, Pastor David Wright. So, like you said, for somebody to have that influence, who is the son of Reverend Timothy Wright, I always thank my pastor because I'm like, you don't have to share any of your platform with me. But I said, because you trust the God in me, I thank God for you. And he shared the flyer, did a whole little, type up about it and everything. And that's all they've been saying. Julian, when is this book coming? When is the book coming? That's all everybody in my church keeps saying. When you going to do the book signing at the church? When is the book coming? When is this happening? When is this happening? I'm like, y'all, it's coming. It's coming. I'm like, it's coming. As soon as I had shared it, it spread like wildfire. And it's like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I wish I had wrote the book sooner. I really wish I had, like, because now I'm seeing it. Because like I was telling my sister, like I shared with y'all, everybody would say, you need to write a book, you need to write a book, you need to write a book, you need to write a book. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, okay. Write the book for what? And like I said, you ask yourself the questions, who's going to publish it? How's it going to get out there? And how am I going to promote it? And what do I have to do? And all of this and that. And before you know it, like I said, you just put it in the back of your head. It's like one of those dreams that just lay dormant. It's not dead, but it's just, okay, I'll pick that up when it finally happens. And then, like I said, divine assignment, because like I gave the testimony, like I said, we talked about this, back in 2019? About her story? When I first met you, and like I said, I met her through my aunt Yolanda Foreman. She has a choir that I'm a part of, Tabernacle Interdenominational Choir. So shout out to Aunt Yolanda, wherever you may be. And we met around the holiday season. It was Christmas time because I did a Christmas concert, and I had just started therapy, literally. And that was the first thing I told her. And that's when she shared with me about her story. And, like I said, the pandemic had happened. Everything got shut down. Life just shifted all of us, but all things work together for the good of them who love the Lord.
Yeah, so it was the good life. It wasn't even her story yet. It was the good life.
It wasn't even her story yet. What was it?
It was the good life.
Right. The good life. Right. That's how far back it was. Right. Right. So it wasn't even her story yet. It was the good life.
I met Miss Carolyn.
I was running from her story.
Right.
I met Miss Carolyn in a hotel lobby. Her and Miss Beverly. I met them in a hotel lobby.
Mm-hmm.
We were having a meeting where they were launching Her Story and they came to just check the facilities out.
Mm-hmm.
And I happened to come out into the hallway and just was like, ooh, I need a moment. I needed a moment to kind of gather myself. There was a lot of people. We were doing a lot of serving. And I was like, I just need a hot second. Like, this is a little overwhelming for me at the moment. I just needed a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ran right in and we just got to talking.
That's how it was. An instant connection. Like we've been knowing each other for years. Like, it was just that instant connection like that.
Right. And remember when I asked you, I said, so what made you come out here? You was like, I just got to say, I don't know why I came out here. All of a sudden it was just like, go outside. It could go sit down. Go out the room.
It was just literally like, go sit down. And I was like, okay, cool. I've been to hundreds of those things that I was at. I've been to hundreds of them.
Mm-hmm.
So at that moment it was just like, go sit down. We hot second.
Let me just get away. Let me steal away for a moment.
We just steal away for a hot second.
Mm-hmm.
And I run into them too. And they just kept saying the whole time,
me, right?
They just kept saying, you're him. And I'm looking at them like, okay, who's him? I'm looking at them like, okay, who is him? I am him. He is me. I am him. Who is him?
Listen, I think when I shared my story with her, it was so funny because she really said to me, she said, I have to figure out where to place you. I said, Jesus, my story is that complex. She was like, I don't know if you go into her story or if you go into him story. Like, listen, I was about to be the middleman between this thing. Like, I was really about to be the
You were about to be their story.
She was like, I really have to where to place you. I said, Jesus. I said, well, wait a minute, let me go and write something a little lighter or something.
Yeah, you were about to be their story.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Listen.
Oh my God. But you know what? Like I said, this is God's story, period, right?
Mm-hmm.
Him story, her story, our story, their story. It's his story. Literally.
His story.
By putting us all together, like even within her, like for such a time as this has been a whole Esther experience, right? So, and then to hear you, Joseph, like That's why I don't know if y'all noticed what I did. I took myself off the screen. Not because I was called, just because I wanted y'all to talk, right? I wanted you to be able to have this space to just talk. And when you shared that, you know, you had to have that moment to just kind of say, okay, let me this self-reflection. And you were intentional with knowing that I'm about to walk into this union and I need to be whole. Writing that story, what I understood, what I heard was that it was freeing for you and it gave you permission to go walk into something whole, not just for you, but for everyone that's connected to you, to your future wife, to your children, to your community, to all of us. You're him. You're him.
Not
God
even
knew.
just permission, but it gave me the authority to do it. It was literally like the steps have been ordered and now I'm literally just stepping. It gave me the authority to do what needed to be done, regardless of the surroundings. And we all know that God will make something beautiful out of a mess.
Oh, absolutely.
And
His grace is sufficient.
it was literally like he took the mess and sculpted something beautiful and said, now let me ordain this union. Because this is not, my marriage is not going to be just a marriage. It's a kingdom marriage. Yes, at 25 and 27, it will be a kingdom marriage. And not very many people can say that they got married because God said so. See, we didn't walk in, and when I get asked about me and her and why we're getting married and things of that nature, number one, she earned it. She earned every good thing that's about to happen to her and for her. And everything that she gets from me, just know she earned it. So when you see me buy her the Rolls Royce and the big house and whatever dog she wants and the white picket fence and the maid and the cook and the chef, when you see it, just know she earned it. But as well as he said so. And I think the most respect I can give a woman is to stand before who I submit to and commit myself and soul to them. That's the most respect I can give you. And I've never seen it done for my own mother. I've never seen it done for my own mother. So for my brothers and fellas out there saying, well, I don't know because I haven't seen it, we can get rid of that excuse, good brother, because I didn't see it, but I still know the way.
Exactly. I'm gonna add this in, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. Let no man put asunder. Because I heard you earlier. I heard you earlier. Like and listen, and that's the beautiful thing, that everything that the enemy tried, you guys didn't cause it to separate y'all. Especially for us, because I'm gonna say this, and I ain't trying to offend none of my brothers when I say this, but I think we are the youngest that's a part of HIMStory. Because like I said, I'll be going on 32, you're 27. So even for us to have this conversation, for them to see millennials having this conversation, millennial men, it's nothing but God's doing. It's nothing but a kingdom assignment.
Yeah. And you know, and her story, which is no different than HIMStory, her story, I have same thing in the 20s all the way to the 70s. It's cross-generational. You know, it's yeah. Oh, man, I'm about to start running again. So listen, no, you missed it. I literally got up when Ricky got on and started. I got up and I just ran.
Yeah, she got up and started running.
I just started running. I was
I'm
like,
over here trying to behave because listen, you know, I'll tap and then you'll be like Julian and left for like 30 minutes to an hour. He over there tapping in the court. Because when I tell y'all I let that wall have it Sunday, even my pastor said Bonnet done found his wall. I found my wall.
Man, let me tell you. So I mean, so thank you guys. Like, listen, and this is, and here we go, Joseph. We still gonna have your day. This was all about Julian. Julian said, "Bring my brothers in." Right?
Yeah, because I mean, listen, I can't do this without y'all. This is HIM's story, but I'm not the only
story, and it's 20 days of him. 20 days of him.
Where so I'm going, like I said, I wanted my brothers to come on in the room, like, and you know, when it's y'all's day, I'll be on watching and you know, commenting and all of that and pushing. Like this is what we do. We're in this together.
This is what we do. So we know you get married, so you will be like
you guys really become my extended family.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah,
no, you're good.
To when we go to the end, before we do our launch, which, by the way, is February 11th and 12th. We will be bestsellers. Go to Eventbrite, HIMStory.eventbrite.com, so that way you can make sure that you at least get notified when we go live and how we're going to celebrate. We're just going to have fun with all of the men, all of the kings. I can't wait to put like each one of you guys have your own individual flyer, but I can't wait to put that one together that shows all of you. Ooh, the power. No, they're not ready for this. The world's not ready for y'all. I'm trying to tell you. It's like, listen, they better be ready. Get ready, right?
Listen, this is the preparation. The people are already hungry for it. So we heard the testimony from Brother Ricardo. The women was asking, "Who's him? What's about him?" Like, so they already hungry for it. They want it.
They ready.
Like
they right. We never heard of anything. We never heard of anything like this.
Right.
Never heard of anything like
about it. Right. They never heard of it. So they was like, "What is it about? Like, what is HIMStory like?"
Yeah. And so we making HIMStory available when you go, because people are looking. Trust me, I can see the analytics. They looking.
Listen.
They looking.
Just make sure.
But we need them to do this too.
Right. Pre-order.
It's an ebook. 99 it's going to get us to bestseller, because that's going to allow what we heard King Joseph said, to get us on these other platforms, because they validate you when you are bestsellers, right? When you make certain lists, and when it's like, why does this book keep popping up? Who's this HIMStory? How are they going to know about it? Because we're going to break the internet. It's only 99 cents. That's it. Download it. You'll get, as soon as it's available, February 11th, boom. We're going to watch our numbers go crazy. I'm excited about it. I can't wait. I can, but it's going to be fun. And I'm so glad that you kings, you gentlemen said yes to this crazy lady that just came up to you in the hotel lobby. It wasn't after party, y'all.
Busting it up after a Christmas concert. That's all.
That was 2 days after someone had spoke over my life. That someone was about to come into my life and change it. Remember that. 2 days later. So I was surprised, but not surprised. I was surprised because it was really random. You know, when someone gives you a word like that, you normally think it's like somebody who's going to call you that you know. Right. I was surprised by the randomness, but I wasn't surprised because it was just told. Someone just said it to me.
and then it literally happened suddenly because, like you said, 2 days after.
No. Y'all talking about God these days. God is immediate these days.
Suddenly, immediate.
He's immediate.
That's the microwave oven right there. Like, boom.
I really hope that people are minding what they're saying.
Right.
He's immediate these days.
Very immediate.
He said, y'all like microwave? I got you.
Yep. So here we go. Here we are. HIMStory. If they don't know, they going soon know. excuse me, I'm just so stinking proud of you men for coming forth. And I'm telling you, so many lives are going to be changed. And it's going to be all, y'all did it. It's like God did it. God did it. Here we go, right here. HIMStory.
I can't wait to
Yeah.
get my physical copy. I can't wait to hold it. I just want it in my hands like right now.
You and me both, and it's going to be such a glorious day when that happens. But as I said, patience.
Right.
And you guys have patience. You guys have more patience than us. So, truth be told. So, thank you.
Let it be known. Tell the truth.
Let it be known. Tell the truth. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth, man. When you listen, when you take, you said, but are we listening? I'm listening. I was over here taking notes.
Right.
Listen, thank you, Kings. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Don't want to keep you all night, but this is just the beginning, right? Of more to come. 20 days of him. Why? Because we're going to step into your world just for a second.
Right.
So you guys gave us a window into your world. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to change the world by allowing us to see, hear, and respect you. So thank you.
Thank you. And shout out, because this is happening all around my birthday. So I am like, I'm like amped up. Like, this is one of my favorite birthday gifts to go into 32 with. Like, I am a contributing author, soon to be a full author. Because like I said, like I'm still working on the memoir. We're still working on stability. So, listen, that's gonna be coming too. But like I told everybody, y'all got HIMStory for now. Stability is still being worked out. But y'all got HIMStory to hold you over.
Wow. Well, hold tight. Don't go nowhere. But I'm gonna close this out in a second. So with these two kings, I just want to, just thank you. Just thank you for being here, for saying that you're saying yes. And it's just been one of those things where, when be careful what you say, be careful what you ask for, as Brother Joseph, it happens suddenly. And you never know. And when it happens, you have to be able to recognize it and not be afraid of it, and don't be afraid. Just because God did not give us the spirit of fear. Put it that way. HIMStory. Him needs her. Her needs him. It's all of us. It's our story. It's their story. We're telling our story for your story. Listen, we got all these stories about. I just named some more books that's coming out. Right, here we go. So listen, make sure you go to where did I tell you to go? Go to HIMStory. Here we go. I'll put this back up so you can see it. Go to HIMStory, which is bit.ly/HIMStory anthology. Make sure you go there. You get all the information. You get to read about the book. You get to put your information in, so that way we can keep you posted when we go live, when we do what we're doing, when we start our tour. Listen, we about to take the world by storm with HIMStory. 20 days in him, how to celebrate them. This is how we celebrate them. 20 days. You're gonna know. If you don't know who him is, you're gonna find out. You'll soon find out. So listen, thank you guys. Have a wonderful and blessed evening. I always tell people one of three things. I want you to continue to be empowered, be inspired, and most importantly, I just want y'all to be magnified. So take care. I see you guys. All right. Let me make sure you know where to go one last time before I bounce, because it's all about him. See ya.